Okay, so I have a different type of video. Not really different, but I have a serious topic I want to talk about. So today I made the executive decision to blow my uh, five 250K Apex accounts. So that's over $1 million in funding that I blew on purpose. And that might sound crazy, but the idea was premeditated and, quite frankly, in the back of my mind for a long time now. So I still have 3 funded accounts on Top Step, and I plan on using those moving forward. Uh, but in doing so, I have found that I almost wanted to shatter my ego or my false identity that I had built up. So I've been trading for a while now, and as I've disclosed before, my journey has been very unorthodox. It's unorganized and all over the place and full of holes. And while I have pride in my market experience, um, I don't have the proper foundation needed to succeed long term. And for the longest time, I used my faith and delusion that I have towards succeeding and becoming profitable as a means to back the lack of data, lack of organization, and overall flaws in not my system per se, but my character. And while I'm using all of these fancy words, I'm basically trying to say that I am using this time to rebuild, to reset, and the first few videos of my channel, I mean, are of me making rookie mistakes. Not rookie mistakes, because everyone makes mistakes. But, I've had more than enough time to sit down and be honest with myself, and I find that writing has been helping. Um, just me realize a lot about myself, and in order to be the person and trader I want to become, I cannot rely on false hope and lies. So, going into the end of the year, my new game plan is to take a step back and uh, continue my process in journaling and backtesting. Backtesting, I used to hate it, and I've been overcome with this just sense of, you know, people can have their differences about journaling and backtesting, but I know for myself that even if it wasn't overly beneficial, it is one of those things that is necessary to build that mindset. That I've said it before, the growth mindset. I want to maximize my input so much that the output is almost guaranteed. And so, yeah, I took the weekend to chill out, enjoy myself. I have a week off of school, and I just came into the markets today. I had everything laid out, and I had no problem sitting on my hands, and then I was looking at my Apex accounts, and I knew that I no longer needed them. And it might sound like hope because I just threw away over $1,000 worth of accounts. I mean, like I said, it was 1.25 million in funding. And, most people would try to hold on to that. And, that's all I did for give or take 2 years. I passed these accounts. God, actually, I have the plaque hanging on my wall. So it says June 24th, 2024 was when I got the certificate. I don't know the dates of the others, but I built up these accounts over the years, like two, and I relied on the funding as false confidence. If someone asked me who I was as a trader, I would say, "Oh yeah, I have over 1 million in funded accounts." And I mean, it wasn't until recently that I got my first payout, but I subconsciously knew that, as if I ever screwed up, if my performance wasn't good, oh yeah, you still have the funded accounts. Like that's a sign of your hard work. When in reality, they're just accounts. I realized that I should be taking pride more so in my resolve and my skill. And so, while this maybe will sting later if I think more about it, um, I am tired of lying to myself. With everything that I've sacrificed to be in this position and all the privilege I have to be in this position. Like, I'm grateful that uh, I had school paid for and I'm surviving. I have a roof over my head and I have a means to continue this journey. I have to take full advantage of my resources. And like I said, it sucks getting rid of those accounts, but in those moments of success where I really was, using that momentum, I was on fire. My analysis, my execution, it was perfect. I still struggled to um, trade all my accounts between Top Step and Apex, and it was always a nitpicky problem. It was either, oh, this is too risky. I'm not going to take it on my Top Step. I'll take it on the Apex accounts, and it would be a good trade. And then the day after, I would trade my Top Step and my Apex together, and I'd take a loss. And so over time, I've had this chat a million times with my friend Ben, and he's been more than supportive and patient, and he's always right. Um, it was ruining my strike rate, and while I might not have a desired amount of data, I really wish that I did focus more on that. I do know that my system is good and that I have had long term success. I sure my accounts have been in drawdown, but I've never gone on a losing streak to the point where I don't find success in my system. I'm able to maintain my accounts. I have winning streaks. I have good trades. My RR, I mean, all I need is a 50% win rate. And so, yeah, my strike rate was fucked up and all over the place. And like I said, my mind would just make up these different problems day in and day out. And before I knew it, at the end of the week, I was either break even, red, or had given my profits back. And I've had green weeks. And I miss having that um what's the word? Fulfillment from being that level-headed patient trader that only takes the A plus setups. And as I've talked before, I know my YouTube channel doesn't have proof of it, but I can guarantee that there is a skill set that I've built up that I'm it's the reason I made the decision today to lose those accounts. If I was holding on to barely little and the funded accounts were all I had to represent my identity, then I couldn't part with them. But I know going into this year that I want to be the best overall person and trader I can be. And I would love to, you know, be able to inspire other people to do the same. And the difference between me or those that succeed versus those that fail is that I will never give up. I could lose my Top Step accounts. I could go through some rough shit in real life, and I know at the end of the day that there has been too many gifts and opportunities given to me throughout this path, and the idea was put in my head for a reason. I didn't just give up my youth so that I could pursue this dream and then give up. Because to me, this journey of becoming profitable and successful, just overall, is for myself. It's for my younger self. It's to prove to, like, I'm gonna sound like a nerd, my inner child that I am capable of whatever I want. I think of younger me who was depressed and lost, had no meaning in life, and I might be being a bit dramatic now, but really, trading has given everything and more to me to actually make me the man I am today, and I want to continue that. So I'm probably gonna go hit the gym, do some more writing and some more reflecting, and try to enjoy my day. Tomorrow is a bank holiday, so I won't be trading. And this might seem like one step back, but to me it is two steps forward. I I'm I've said it again and I've said it before. I'm ready to go all in. And it's scary at first, but I know that I am delusional enough to make it. And if I wasn't, I wouldn't be doing this corny shit, putting myself out there for other people to see this side of me. Because it's so easy to think someone's doing successful. I mean, God, that's something I've got to also fix is, comparison. But a lot of people might only see my good trades and they don't realize how much I have been struggling outside of that to kind of maintain that composure. And it's not even like I'm like blowing evals out the fucking yin yang or my funded accounts. It's no, I've been able to maintain them and I'm conscious enough that when I make mistakes, I usually know how to resolve them. And I'm smart enough to know where to go from here. So that's my little rant. I'm holding myself accountable. It's a lot. Each of those accounts were like fucking 200 something bucks to set up. So it's a lot of money. But I focus on my university studies, doing good there, and I continue to work on my health, and I will continue to come to the market and try to be as honest and humble as possible moving forward. I really wish I could go back and tell my younger self the exact order to do things. I think that, if anyone is new to this space and they're able to have a mentor, have a set plan about how to properly learn and test data, and shit happens for a reason. You know, I'm just grateful enough that I am able to realize this in the moment. There's an expression: the longer you stay on the train, the harder it is to get off. I think so. I could have been back and forth for another year before I knew I would have been in my second year of university, and I still wouldn't be that level of consistency that I desire. So, in this moment, I am just completely open, and I know I will benefit from this choice. I think that's all I have to say.